Yeah, we suck right now. The culture is actually like, I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from the pick sixes.
As the new NFL season officially begins with the start of free agency, there are unfortunately some things we must go over. New rules. As with most things the league has done, it's allegedly meant to improve the game, but some of them have led to more controversy than not. One of these changes that totally won't cause this is the banning of the hip drop tackle. Any infraction called by officials will now be 15 yards and an automatic first down. Another judgment call penalty and a league plagued by them. Oh, wonderful. The replay booth can now review instances of roughing the passer and intentional grounding. But knowing how well the pass interference reviews went, my hopes aren't high. What could be ironically useful are the new kickoff rules. They had to do something about them. The kickoff had been relegated to nothing but touchbacks for the most part. If you watch the XFL this past year, there'll be a slightly modified version of them. The kicker kicks off at his 35-yard line, and the kickoff special teams line up at the opposing 40. All but two players on the return team line up at the 35-yard line, not to move until the ball is received by a returner. The goal for the kicking team is to hit it in the landing zone, between the 20 and the goal line. If the ball lands or goes out of the end zone for a touchback, the ball is spotted at the 30-yard line. If it goes out of bounds, it's spotted at the 40 like it was before. Onside kicks also must be declared, thus eliminating surprise onside kicks. We'll definitely be complaining about these things in the future, but their newest gift to us comes with 2 games on Christmas. Wednesday football is back after a 4-year hiatus. The NBA is seething in the corner. Remember when I said it was too early for Bears fans to talk endless shit about the team last year? Okay, this may be the moment where it's justified. Caleb Williams is going to be getting some nice weapons to add to his hopeful ascension to Chicago's savior. The main prize, besides whomever's picked at number 9, is Keenan Allen. He won't be expected to be the headliner here, but as a foil to DJ Moore, he should be excellent. Gerald Everett for the receiving game should be good depth as well. Not to mention DeAndre Swift for the running game. Even though Rashawn Johnson and Khalil Herbert were pretty good for them last year, still an upgrade, I guess. Same as Kevin Byard for the secondary, but we all know the real salvation. Paying Jalen Johnson. One of the best corners in football will be compensated like it. And things are starting to look up in Bears land, which is a surprising thing to say. To properly succeed, you must offer a sacrifice to the gods. A potential dome in Chicago proper isn't enough. You must give up what you love. Justin Fields. He was gone the moment the Panthers pick was number 1. And he didn't fetch much in return, but he'll get a real chance to thrive in Pittsburgh. Be proud, Chicago. Your moment might be coming very soon.
With the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams, quarterback, Southern California.
Pick that was insanely obvious since December. Carolina, thank you for freeing the Bears from the killing fields. Now we might see atonement for passing on that which shall not be named in 2017. The age of Caleb has begun. A flashy pick with the dazzle of Patrick and the eccentricity of Prince. And some say his maturity issues because he cried at the end of a football game. He's going into an interesting situation in Chicago. A team that hasn't had much success in developing quarterbacks. If he can move mountains and win them games, he becomes a god in that city. Probably the greatest QB in franchise history. No pressure, Caleb, just all the expectations in the world.
The Chicago Bears select Rome Odunze, wide receiver, Washington.
And the perfect pick for Chicago falls right into their damn lap. Bears just won the draft with 2 selections. We could go golfing for the rest of this, and every media pundit would be hailing them as geniuses. Everyone and their mother had quarterback boners, including Chicago, which allows them to get the last of the big 3 receivers available for the taking. Odunze's another potentially devastating weapon for Caleb. It's an interesting time to be a Bears fan. Things are finally moving in the right direction on paper. And this is on and off the field. If they don't find a way to win with all this talent on offense, I'm simply going to assume the team is cursed and needs to contract. At this point, the Bears are sitting at a casino playing slots. They'll mindlessly press the quarterback button, hoping to God they either hit the jackpot or a few wild cards. At this point, they'll settle just to break even. The last 20 quarterbacks didn't work out, but you only fail if you stop trying. Caleb Williams is the new savior promised by the McCaskies above. Shall reveal how football's answer to Prince will survive the NFL grind. They'll have plenty of weapons to work with, old and new, as well as a resurging defense that wrecked foes the moment Montez Sweat came to town. I don't know how to say this, but I feel like the Bears have legitimate upside this year? It's so weird to say. I know exactly what you're thinking, and I agree. If the Bears fail with this iteration, they should contract. Just fold the team up, burn that renovated abortion of a stadium down, and start anew by Lake Michigan. As a franchise, these fuckers are hitting like they're Martin Maldonado. One more massive extension and you can call them Andrew Benintendi. As you can tell, things are a bit less linear than in the past. New suitors are eager to stake the claim from the usual suspects. Yet the ones at the top will only relinquish such honor from their cold, lifeless hands. I think this year is a little of both. The NFC East has always been a conference that changes hands every year, so the Eagles will reclaim it for themselves. As for the NFC North, different story. I say Detroit reclaims it, but a few teams are hot on their tail. The NFC South, the conference we wish could be erased, goes to Atlanta simply by no Arthur Smith. And the NFC West, barring horrific injury, will be San Francisco's to lose yet again. Wildcards are a much trickier guess. Yet I believe that Green Bay, Dallas, and Chicago take them. There are more than a few teams that I consider for these three spots, so I'm not dismissing them at all. But the NFC's just weird like that. It'll probably be wonkier than I expect. Many Titans fans complained about being slept on. Once games started, their power level would be revealed. With that defense? Oh yeah. Caleb Williams is blossoming, we'll have to wait. His debut was a nightmare. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and nowhere to throw to. Less than 100 yards passing and the offense was dead on arrival. Domination to an early 17-point lead. At Soldier Field, Tennessee's cruising to an outstanding win. Only two issues. First, the Titans special team selling them down the river for about $6. Also, Will Levis is unveiling a new cologne today. Fucking puke. What a disaster performance from a team that just needed passable. Skittish in the pocket, forcing balls despite better talent, and whatever the fuck this was supposed to be. You mean the dude that got beat up by Sean Clifford at Penn State is struggling? Why are you shocked? That defense played their heart out and were betrayed by Mayo Brain over here. And like most of the last 50 years, the Bears win without a quarterback. Caleb at least should improve. Levis, he should be on his knees praying he can. Keep sleeping on the Titans. I'm repeatedly pressing the snooze button. Perhaps I may have overestimated the jump Chicago would make this year. Upending a team with no quarterback is one thing, but when you're up against Houston's burgeoning machine... Oh, God. Oh, good. Fuck. God. What have you done, Bears? Is your O-line made out of paper mache? I thought you were supposed to have fixed this shit. The Texans shit-wreckers went ham. 7 sacks and 36 pressures. 30 fucking 6! Jesus Christ, you guys trying to get Caleb embalmed or something? These boys straight up bullied you on the defensive side of the ball. But Houston was more than giving them chances to win. All they could do for the most part was take penalties and fumble near the end zone. And they should have had even more penalties. Apparently, it's perfectly legal to punch a dude in the face. Al-Shair's paying homage to the bad boys and the rest follow suit. Dead serious, if the Bears have anything resembling an interior O-line of quarterback play, they win. Caleb, dude, this isn't the Pac-12. You can't play hero ball and chuck balls into double and triple coverage willy-nilly. This dude isn't just off kilter, he's missing targets by 10 yards. Be fair, with that O-line, no one succeeds. I have serious concerns about Caleb so far, but it's early and I probably should be patient. But that's hard to do when this team needs his peak now. Welcome to the NFL, man. Like the Texans, it'll eat you alive if you aren't careful. This game was alleged to have featured two of the best young quarterbacks in the game. I'm suing for false advertising. What I saw wasn't a showcase, but a shit show in all aspects of play. From skill positions to offensive lines to plate calling and beyond. Mel Kiper wants to ban the cover too? He should really consider all offenses have become smooth break. Caleb and AR5 look inconsistent as all hell. You have a chance at a touchdown thanks to talent? Anthony Richardson will charitably donate the ball to the Bears defense with the worst pass you'll see in 5 minutes. Is that too much for Caleb to handle? Well, he'll just give the ball right back to the Colts. If it weren't for Jonathan Taylor, I don't know if anyone would have scored any damn points. Of course, if your offensive coordinator is Shane Waldron, you're gonna get the dumbest play calls known to man. 3 straight goal plays, just run it up the gut for nothing, it doesn't matter. 4th and goal, the Bears run an option play on the 1-yard line. Option play. Seahawks fans hated Waldron with a burning passion for a reason. The most well-executed thing for either side was Seth Rollins being thrown onto the field. Perhaps he can teach Williams and Richardson how to throw accurately at this level, since it simply shows me that both of these offenses fucking suck. Colts have been getting gashed against the run and you can't do anything there? Caleb really is gonna fall apart. What is an offensive line? What is an offense? Only Jonathan Taylor need apply. Indianapolis merely won because someone had to. I personally would have given them both losses. The Colts defense has been wrecked by injury after injury, so that might count as one. Can I take my prediction about the Bears back? They aren't doing shit with how bad their attack has been. A critical juncture for the Bears. The fan base is livid with Shane Waldron. The players are livid with him too. The offense fails here like it did for large chunks of the first half, the situation would be perilous. Fortunately, the Rams are depleted and burned all their energy in beating the 49ers. Chicago took quite a bit to start up. But once they did, their faulty engine was enough to drive off with the win and a sense of security. Probably with DeAndre Swift at the helm. Not bad for a guy who was about to lose his role as lead back. It wasn't anywhere near pretty, but Caleb showed progress as a QB. He took what was in front of him, he didn't try to force throws, and he led his team to victory. This is the kind of stuff you need to see from a rookie. Maybe against an absolutely dead team in the Rams, but wins are wins. That'll at least get the heat away from Eberflus and Waldron for a bit. You should be thanking the man that saved their bacon, Tory Taylor. You want your punk god, you have him right here. Close second to that defense for nearly killing Matthew Stafford. 2-2 is indeed salvageable. It's so beautiful for the Panthers to see the fruits of Bryce Young ripen for harvest. No, I'm not talking about Young, but Chicago. Silly kids, did you believe that Carolina was gonna have a chance today? They are better than before, but Caleb Williams is gonna develop chemistry with DJ Moore just to piss them off. Caleb easily had his best game as a Bear. And it may be against a hobbled and David Tepper-burdened unit, but it's once again tremendous progress for the man. The Red Rifles' magic is fleeting. Their only remaining strengths are an injured defense and not going 0-17. Such a fantastic prize indeed. For the 5 Panthers fans that haven't checked out, I have great news. Bryce Young's headed in the game. He's going to get much needed experience because they don't want Andy Dalton being destroyed behind a battle line. So you send in the first overall pick last year to die instead? Is Tepper trying to cash out an insurance policy? Earlier this week, Shad Khan defended the utter morons in charge of his team since he still believes they can win. They rewarded his patience by playing even worse than they did before. All Chicago needed to unleash the full ability of their offense was to play Jacksonville. Are the Jags starting a JV defense? Are they just trash? I don't know, I don't care. Bears are destroying them in every conceivable way. Cole Kmet was thrust into emergency duty as long snapper and he had one of the best performances of his career. Caleb Williams had a game rivaling his upside as a pro. 4 passing touchdowns. Totally had faith in them the whole way. Never had concerns about him in week 2 at all. Against whatever the fuck this secondary is, Trevor Lawrence has to be God himself to overcome it. Spoiler, he isn't. Especially not when his receivers are dropping every fucking thing in sight. London gets to witness a massacre rivaling St. George's Fields. But is it really one when a team lies down to die? To call the Jags a joke would imply they were funny. They're just awful. I have a feeling Shad's gonna lock Peterson and Balky in London Tower. Turns out we're getting Caleb versus Jaden after all. After an injury scare, Daniels is able to go in this suddenly exciting matchup. Well, in theory it was exciting. It'd be really nice if the commies could score in the red zone. You'd think it'd be perfect considering their damn namesake, but they legitimately can't do a damn thing there. Yards upon yards upon yards, only to stall out at the worst possible times. And it would allow the Bears to snag the lead. If their offense can do anything, literally anything, to drought rivaling their first few weeks of the season. And it's not a Caleb thing this time around. It's a coaching phenomenon. They didn't pay attention to Seattle last year whatsoever. Running the ball is working really well for you. The defense is doing everything in their power to keep you in the game. Scenario time for all you football heads. You're at the 1-yard line after an impressive drive for once with a chance to take the lead. You are Shane Waldron. What do you do? A. Run the football with a white-hot DeAndre Swift. B. Devise a play for a Dunze or Komet. Or C. Pay tribute to the fucking fridge. They chose C. Ain't that a bitch? How the hell did Bears fans think Waldron was an upgrade? So now Chicago has to try again. Thankfully, the Commies' defense is exhausted and giving up yards en masse. Consider it luck, consider it a new age, but Caleb and DeAndre willed the Bears to a touchdown and the lead. Number 1 in the draft, number 1 in this game. Well, Chicago, it might be the ugliest one I've seen in an age and a half, but it's done. All you have to do is stop a Hail Mary. Don't worry, you're not up against Aaron Rodgers.
Comes down to one last play, and it's going to be getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line. Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line, and the ball is caught! Caught! It's a miracle! It's Noah Brown! Oh my goodness!
Oh my succulent Jesus. If that's not a Bears way to lose a football game, God is a cruel bastard. A 1 in a million shot that should have never happened to begin with, robbing Chicago of keeping pace with their rivals. All in a day's work for an ineptly run McCaskey franchise. Only for the Bears can Tyreek Stevenson taunt fans in the crowd when the play is fucking happening. Then be responsible for the tip that led to the touchdown in the first place. And better yet, he was the guy that was supposed to be responsible for covering Noah Brown. The arrogant are often humbled at the altar of greatness. Tyreek's only reward is deserved ridicule. Lol-cow of the week. This is lol-cow of the fucking month. God, how do you become so tone deaf? And I'm talking both him and Eberflus. Washington not only won, but Jayden Daniels may have won Offensive Rookie of the Year with that throw alone. God, I love this fucking league.
Bears? You gonna do anything with how shitty your play is? Can you ever not live up to the fucking stereotype? No matter what this team does or attempts, they exist to be a local franchise and NFC North punching bag. Arizona's at least developing as a team. They play hard and do whatever it takes to win. They weren't even anything special on the offensive front. Chicago's just so damn inept that the game was literally handed to them without a fight. Does this team even prepare for things? Do they bother to care? It's almost as if the players are openly mutinying on the hacks in charge. It's just before halftime and you give up a running touchdown of over 50 yards? To a fucking Star Wars character? You are not a real franchise. Bears are doomed to merely feed Virginia McCaskey the souls of 100 fans every hour for his sustenance. Not firing Eberflus when bringing in a new QB, that's totally worked out well for you fuckers the last 2 times you tried it. As tradition, it's garbage time and Caleb's out there to die like he has the last 55 minutes. Sadly for Eberflus, he merely tweaked his ankle. He has to get his work in, you know. The Cardinals, simply by existing, caused the Bears fan base to literally shatter into 1,000 pieces yet again. Don't worry, Matt, just bench Tyreek Stevenson and not use Cole Kmet at all. That's totally gonna solve their litany of woes. Why wasn't he fired a year ago? Oh, right, the McCaskies are incompetent and cheap. Remind me to never consider the Bears for anything worthy of respect ever again. I got fooled by their strong finish last year and talent infusion on offense. I should have reminded myself that this is Chicago. No matter what's done, the only thing that's constant is their ability to fuck everything up. Look at what happened against the Patriots, for fuck's sake. They didn't just beat the Bears, New England completely humiliated them. In their own home. Someone seriously thought that Shane Waldron was a good option to lead an offense? There's no way that a team like this should be so mangled. This is sub-Mac Canada levels of ineptitude. 142 yards of production? 1 for fucking 14 on 3rd downs? Against this depleted roster? The Pats have nothing resembling a pass rush and they sacked Caleb 9 times. They only had 16 goddamn sacks before the game! New England didn't even have a red zone offense for the most part, yet it was so damn easy for them. This has to get Eberflus and company fired, right? It has to. This is pathetic. The Patriots are laughing their sides off as Chicago becomes locale of the week. Maybe they'll give more of a shit about it than DJ Moore does. And then they hire a new coach and the same cycle continues anew for 3 more years of bullshit in the Windy City. Oh no, the Bears fired Shane Waldron as a placebo? What a tragedy for the rest of the NFC North. Who else will devise such genius schemes as option plays on the 1-yard line? Or running a fullback dive with an offensive lineman? We're leaving defensive linemen unblocked by design. Anyone who saw him in Seattle knows he was a hack, yet Eberflus thought he would unlock Caleb's abilities? Williams told his punter he wasn't gonna punt much this year. His leg's gonna fall off by week 14. And this firing's totally gonna fix the litany of issues and shitty team leadership and lazy veterans and McCaskey bullshit. Local franchise and then some. Thomas Brown is now offensive coordinator. He didn't do too well in Carolina last year. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. It's like Chicago never left. Aaron Rodgers may be rotting the Jets from within, but one thing has never changed throughout time. Green Bay owns Chicago. No matter what the Bears do, they cannot overcome this menace 3 hours north. They aren't with too many men and offsides penalties in the same play, while giving up a touchdown. It was looking to be the typical fare, but reality is murkier. The Packers played like shit. Jordan Love continues his Brett Favre arc of fuck it, go bold, or die trying, even if it's into blanket coverages in the red zone. And then Chicago experiences the benefits of no Shane Waldron. Mainly that they can move the football and aren't burdened by terrible short yardage play calls. The Bears have the lead, but Green Bay will put up a fight. Mainly since they feel that they're the superior franchise. That elitism alone will guide them on this day. Now, if only that could get the Packers' run defense to make a stop on DeAndre Swift, that'd be great. The Cheeseheads know that narratives must be maintained, and the chance is here to get it done. But alas, the sloppy play of Green Bay rears its ugly head near the goal line. Chicago's new monsters of the Midway make a stop to force a turnover on downs. The Bears just can't capitalize. They have to punt it back, and Bluff plays Russian roulette and wins. Make a safe play to Tyler Kraft. Fuck it, Brett Favre the ball to Christian Walker for an improbable catch. The gunslinging more than giveth, and it rewards them with a touchdown to take the lead. Green Bay can sack Williams on back-to-back plays, but he needs to make a statement of his own. Repeatedly to field goal range. Chicago, you're almost free. The age of the Packers owning you as property. It might be coming to an end. Holy shit, what a drive by Caleb. Green Bay's fists are weaker than a mosquito. The moment to define a generation.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
And it's blocked! Oh my goodness, the Packers block it, and they're gonna win!
It's no good! It's no good! He missed it! He missed it! Yes! 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 Oh my God! The Packers win! Oh my God!
Felt a great disturbance in the force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror. Was suddenly silenced. I fear something terrible has happened.
Someday, classified documents will be unsealed revealing the truth about the Chicago Bears. They're an MK Ultra psyop meant to weaken and demoralize football fans into doing their will. What is that they desire? They've already been broken beyond all repair, yet the agony continues. It's not even shock, but numbing. You can't feel anything when that sense was lost generations ago. Any positive moment for this organization is buried under 10 feet of shit. Set ablaze, then buried under 20 more feet of shit. Caleb Williams finally has his abilities unlocked after getting rid of useless deadweight known as Waldron. What is their reward in a tie game? Another blocked field goal. Flashbacks of horror this early, Chicago. Haven't these fans suffered enough? Apparently not. The ineptitude of this organization must continue on for an age and then some. Take the start of the second half. Jordan Addison makes a fantastic catch down the sidelines. So Eberflus challenges the play because it was explosive? Excuse me, Matt? Explosive? How the fuck are you a head coach, dude? Matt Nagy with a defensive coat of paint. Good lord. You're lucky the defense held up to force a field goal there. The offense isn't so lucky. Can't afford another potentially blocked kick, so they'll just turn the ball over on downs. They give up fewer yards this way, it works. Know what also helps offensive failure? Not going on offense at all. How about another special teams fuck up to make things even better? Deep in Chicago territory. Touchdown Minnesota, Skull chance to a 14-point lead. Yet it's still not over. The Vikings' chance to bury their opponent is lost on a failed fourth down conversion in no man's land. Begin the rise of Caleb. A fantastic drive that flashes the potential of a brighter tomorrow for a touchdown. But the Bears' defense can't hold them further. They're defeated at many angles throughout the drive. They bend and bend, but don't break in the red zone. They force a field goal delivered through the uprights. The Vikings have an 11-point lead with less than 2 minutes left and no timeouts for Chicago. But everyone should know by now that Minnesota is also part of that MK Ultra psyop. Their defense pays tribute to Donatel and craters into a black hole. A masterful drive by Williams to not only commandeer this offense to a touchdown, but convert a two-pointer. But this has to be amplified.
Nobody's had more practice than Minnesota. And that one ball is loose. Was it touched? The Bears say they have it. Was it touched first by Minnesota?
They recovered the onside kick. The Bears were opportunistic. Caleb threw a fucking dart to get them into field goal range. I don't know if it would be funnier for them to make the kick or for it to be blocked.
One block today. Good snap. Good hold. Good kick. Overtime in Chicago.
They did it. They fucking did it. Peak Vikings. You had a 99.9% chance to win, and you screwed the poach like it's Josh McCown to Nate Poole. Even worse, Chicago gets ball to start and can make you instant locales for an age. Yet the Bears are into eternal agony. Finding unbelievable and otherworldly ways to lose 5 straight is outright impressive. The Hail Mary didn't just break this team. It shattered their entire id, ego, and superego. Many teams would settle for the standard blowout, but you guys go past the typical castration and crush every last bit of optimism the fan base may have had. You finally mount up a quarterback beyond compare, Chicago. What was the cost of such a transaction? Everything you hold dear.
29 yards for the win. Good snap. Good hold. Good kick. And the Minnesota Vikings win it in overtime. 30-27. Knocking off the Chicago Bears.
So how does Chicago one-up the misery index after weeks of unearthing new torture techniques on their fan base? A terrible first half sounds about right. Detroit gives such little fucks that they're running pass plays by Panay Sewell. The fans are cheering a sack. The Lions are straight up trolling them. There's nothing they can do about it. Most of the first half, Chicago had fewer yards gained on offense than the Lions had first downs. This should honestly be outright slaughter, but Detroit's getting insanely arrogant and not going for the kill. Not to mention Sonic losing all his rings near the Bears' end zone to keep them only leading by 16 at half. You get a recipe for disaster. Chicago finally got their shit together at halftime. Probably from Eberflus being locked in a broom closet. Caleb and the offense are flying high. And there's one significant reason for it. The Lions are running out of defenders. Not even being facetious, their injuries being shredded by injury left and right. And that's partly why Chicago's coming back into the fray. Thanks to repeated stalling by Detroit on offense and the first missed field goal of Jake Bates' career, the Bears are only down by 3. The pendulum swung hard, emphasized by a Lions 3 and out. Chicago's being propped up and handed a golden chance yet again. A final drive with a chance to not only save the game, but people's jobs. Driving down thanks to Caleb and a bit of ref ball, as is tradition. They're now in striking distance. Too bad Flus freed himself from the closet. In standard Bears fashion, they imitate modern Twitter and nobody's blocked. A brutal sack to kick them out of field goal range with a little over 30 seconds left. But they do have a timeout to play with. Any competent mind could work with this. You know, you can do something, Chicago. Do we need to phone a friend or poll the audience? Seriously, what the fuck are you doing? Call your timeout. Run a play. Organize your men. What is your major malfunction, you asswipes?
Oh, this is disaster in the making here. You're going to have to do something when it comes down to this play. Incomplete, and the game is over.
I feel like I lost 20 IQ points by watching that segment. Did the Bears collectively suffer a mini-stroke at that moment? Don't you have 2-minute drills to prepare for this? That was absolutely retarded. I know you're not supposed to say that in 2024, but there's no other word to properly describe it. Running a halfback dive would have been a better option. Give yourself a fucking chance. A 6-year-old playing fucking Madden would have better game sense. Your team needs a leader and Caleb's pissing down his leg, Matt. You're the head coach. Call your goddamn timeout. What was your adjustment there, an ice pick severing the prefrontal cortex? I have nothing. I legitimately have nothing. The NFL's bullshit is finally broken. Every yokel sitting in that Stadium 6 Bears Inn knew what to do. How the hell did Flus not? It's one thing to completely botch the football equivalent of pin the tail on the donkey, but it's another entirely to fuck up an easy situation and actively defend it after the fact. How the hell did you handle it the right way? Were you juggling Fabergé eggs on the sideline when this was happening? All of Chicago wants this guy publicly executed by firing squad, but I feel bad for the Bullets. You didn't just gift Detroit a 10-1 record when they were doing their best to flop. You ended the Detroit Thanksgiving memes in one fell swoop. Don't worry, folks. Eberflus is saving that timeout for when he's on the unemployment line. This has to get that guy fired, right? Turns out it was. When even the Chicago Bears, a team notorious for never firing a goddamn coach in the regular season, have had enough of your shit, it's ridiculously damning. History has been made. Eberflus was so utterly incompetent at nearly everything at his job that the McCaskies are swallowing the remainder of his contract. They even let him have a press conference an hour before where he stated that he believed he'd be coaching the next week. Brother, if that happened, Bears fans would have made January 6th look like a building tour. The locker room was about to Ceausescu this fucker outside of team headquarters. They were popping champagne corks when they found out. But he's merely a symptom. McCaskey ineptitude and cheapness loom large again. They could have fired him last year, but they used their late surge as an excuse to not have to spend money. And the same damn cycle perpetuates. I'm looking forward to Caleb Williams in the black and gold. Hey, it happened the last 2 times. That timeout Eberflus save's gonna come in handy. Or perhaps he lost it as often as he did one-score games. It's that time of the year again, when the playoffs start to peek into the picture and we discuss the scenarios at hand. The NFC's a bit tighter. The Motor City currently leads the pack, but Philly's hot on their tail. The division ranks are pretty safe otherwise. Seattle and Atlanta hold claim to some very weak conferences this year. That means Minnesota and Green Bay have the potential to feast if the cards fall right for them. Washington got off a cold streak and comfortably hold the final seed in the meantime. At 6-6, the Bucks, Cardinals, and Rams still have a shot, especially in their divisions. Meanwhile, San Francisco, Dallas, and New Orleans are clinging on for dear life. And I mean it. There's been a lot of disappointment for teams this season, but there's still a chance they remembered the rules.
Don't get eliminated!
Bears fans, I have fantastic news to announce. Chicago will not suffer an agonizing loss in the last seconds of the game this week. They'll be finished before they even step onto the field of play. San Francisco was more than eager to humiliate someone for the agony they've suffered all season. Why not a perennial locale franchise sitting in front of them? It turned into slaughter in no time at all. The Niners had over 300 yards of offense at halftime. Chicago had all of 4. More stunned, they even got a first down in such a shitfest. The Niners may be avoiding the inevitable, but they'll destroy whatever's in their way to give them the illusion of hope for the immediate future. Brock Purdy had himself an outstanding game, and the Niners do see him as the cornerstone of the franchise moving forward. The question is who's going to be cut off to make it happen. You wish you were players on the Bears, but that isn't how a salary cap works. They'll just accept their 7th straight loss and call it a day. Good Lord, what a disaster in front of us. I'm talking about both franchises, to be honest. The Niners are now down yet another running back. Soon enough, they might be trying to get AP out of retirement. 1 month left. Get your tickets to the postseason ready now or be left out in the cold. We know the drill by now. The NFC's road is still undecided. Detroit stays ahead with a crucial win over Green Bay, but Philly and Minnesota are still hot on their tail. Thanks to Atlanta's catastrophic implosion, Tampa Bay has reasserted itself for the NFC South lead. The Seahawks still remain on top of the NFC West, but things could be getting shaky there with a loss on Thursday. A bye week for Washington maintains their 7th seed, yet rivals remain. The Rams and Niners want in. There's a chance the Falcons could get their shit together. Arizona could make miracles happen. Probably not, but you aren't out of the dance until you hear the dreaded words told to a few teams already. You know them by heart.
Don't get eliminated!
This game was over after the first drive. The moment Chicago called a halfback toss on 4th down at their own 30 sealed their fate. Minnesota and their uncanny all-white unis made unbelievably easy work embalming this long-dead corpse of a franchise. Broken by a Hail Mary, the play made them regress into a vegetative state. No control over any of their bodily functions. The Vikings simply put them in a harness and made them walk naked on all 4s across the stadium grounds. As Sam Darnold continues to revive from the dead, you simply hope that the Bears don't ruin another prospect. Caleb is stagnating with the lack of proper structure and coaching. He's the NFL's answer to Skibbity Toilet, trying to run around aimlessly as if he's playing Madden and heaving prayers against Pac-12 defenses. Doesn't work like that here, man. In between this and his O-line getting him killed, the entire operation is in complete disarray. A season of hype and promise swept away yet again. Insanity played on a loop.
Miss.
Detroit may be reeling from injuries throughout the roster, but they don't need to worry here. It's the Bears. They're mumbling in the corner, drooling on themselves, spinning in circles. And even then, that might be putting it nicely. When Goff and his army show no mercy to the poor fools conscripted to defend it, there will only be valiant boasting and taunting from the Motor City. They were straight up trolling these fuckers all game long. Giving so few fucks, they faked botching a handoff with the running back tripping and delivered a strike to Sam Laporta. And that's how seriously you should take the Bears. As respectable as a dead galley slave. With the offense humming like a bird, this one was as easy as slicing pie. Maybe Aaron Glenn was right. There isn't much to fear here. The real test comes in a few weeks, though. Prepare yourselves accordingly. I'm gonna be honest, I barely paid any attention to this game and my brain cells are grateful. If they had to be forcefully subjected to this trek, they'd have killed themselves on the spot. The final Thursday night abomination was one of the games of our time. Prepare for an epic battle of punting beyond our measly comprehension. Oh, what a duel of right legs. The Seahawks were absolute dog shit. Chicago somehow performed Dion's worst. Caleb Williams is out here hero balling in a 1v100 like he's Rambo against the Soviets. He dies immediately. I suggest we treat this game like Fritzl and lock it up in the basement. Only fitting that Caleb does his best Kyler impression and throws a terrible pick to win the misery. Contract both these teams, contract Thursday Night Football, execute the McCaskies for crimes against the sport. Nothing like trying to gear up for the playoffs against your perpetual property. Slavery may be outlawed in most of the civilized world, but Green Bay loves nothing more than cracking the whip on those worthless Bears. A sure-to-be-easy win against a rotting corpse. Only if Green Bay didn't lose Christian Watson and Jordan Love in the process. Love will be okay, but the Packers certainly aren't here. They are hideously playing down to a dead franchise. You do realize you have narratives to maintain, right, Packers? Malik Willis has his flaws, but Chicago's destroyed. Even their fans don't want them to win. It's over. Just let them reset in the offseason. Nope. This defense is desperately missing Jair Alexander. By the way, he's out for the year as well. It's one thing to limp into the postseason, but it's another to get ready to be bent over against the Eagles. Green Bay may be coming back into the contest with a touchdown, but the two-point conversion failed. Chicago's actually doing it. Simply get a few first downs and make them burn their timeouts. Bears have this in the bag.
Now they've got to overcome 1st and 20. It's DJ Moore with a catch. He fumbles the football. Good snap and hold. The kick by McManus on the way. It's low, but it's good.
Good fucking God, the misery never ends. This is such a Bears thing to happen and a Bears season to happen. The only thing that can make this worse is if Caleb leads Chicago to field goal range to simply repeat history. Oh no. A chance for a game-winning field goal against Green Bay? Don't tell me it's gonna happen again.
Good snap, good hold. The kick on the way by Santos, and it is good!
Chicago! You did it! You won a football game! And you did it against Green Bay! You dropped them to the hell of Philadelphia! It's like losing the family home and finding an expired coupon for Velveeta on the street. I'm so proud of you, Bears. Now let's never speak of this abortion of a year again.
Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught! Caught! It's DeMercado breaking away! DeMercado goes the distance!
Williams, pressure coming late, and down he goes!
And he's blocked!
Williams buying all kinds of time. Where's he gonna go? Nowhere! No one touched him! Oh, this is disaster in the making here. You're gonna have to do something when it comes down to this play.
Incomplete, and the game is over. Goff on first down, firing downfield for Williams. He's got it! Jamison.
Virginia McCaskey finally croaked? I thought she was gonna live forever feeding on the souls of thousands of Bears fans a day. Chicago? You might be free. Ben Johnson might have slayed the demon by proxy. Now go and pursue the ultimate prize, making the McCaskies sell the team.